Hallelujah, hallelujah, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. This is your brother Kazakia, Priest Kazakia, MalachiMinistries.org. It's been a while since we did something on YouTube, and we're going to do this particular presentation. I was reached out to on the phone by a dear precious sister who wanted me to review this teaching on the subject of Ahayah. Now, I'm going to say this because I'm going to deal with this, and this is all very impromptu. I haven't rehearsed it or nothing. I'm going to listen to what the brothers have to say. I'm going to give you my feedback. But I want to say this, that we have a lot of people nowadays that have embraced this teaching to try to focus on the name, and we demonize other people who use the name that we deem as who I should say don't use the name that we deem as being accurate and correct. There's a video called "The Name That the Illuminati Fear." I think that's the particular title of the video. But so I'm going to kind of just let the brother share what is on his heart. I don't know if the brother is sincere or not. I believe he's sincere. I believe he really sincerely believes what he's sharing as a truth. But we have to be very careful when we are sharing something as a truth that we are not blaspheming the name of the Most High in the process of what we're doing. Okay? So that's the thing I want to share as we prepare to go and hear what this brother has to say on the subject matter of the name. Okay? So listen closely as he shares.
A book was sent called Illuminati 2, Deceit and Seduction. This book was published in 2010. So that you know, we never met this person. He goes into the Illuminati's program and how they were able to deceive the churches and the masses, and what trickery they used to deceive the world, and set up certain articulate people, influential people that be over Christian churches and all that. And it was the Jewish people who put their people in place to control every movement and to demoralize the world. And even the spiritual people who searched the Most High, he wanted these people to inadvertently, this is what they wanted, the Jewish people, they wanted these people to inadvertently worship their god Satan.
Okay, so now that's all basically speculation, what he's saying so far. Okay, he's telling you what they did, what they wanted to do. Well, I don't know the minds of what they wanted to do. So everything he's saying basically is his opinion. So we haven't gotten any documentation yet. So let's continue.
So that they can keep rulership over them. And they use money. Same way they gave Judas those 30 pieces of silver. They use finances. They use finances in certain demographics in certain areas through religion. They control. That's why all your textbooks and all your religious books are through their publications,
including the book that he's quoting from. Okay, all by them. So every book that we're utilizing, if you want to go that route, we're using all of their material, including the book that he just quoted, Illuminati 2. The deception or seduction. Okay,
and they control the doctrine that would spin you the wrong way when the Most High is guiding you his way. They set what you would call snares in front of you, so that even when you try to go right, something would be in front of you to lead you back to them.
Okay, I want to stop for a second. Something he said earlier in the video that I listened to, and I didn't play that part, but he said that they got the name Ahayah after they were fasting and praying, and then the Most High revealed to them that his name is not Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, the Messiah's name, but it's Ahayah and Yeshaya. Okay, so this is what they said. Now we got to be careful because we got a lot of people saying that the Spirit told them in prayer, this is the answer. Okay, the Spirit ain't speaking to everybody with different variations of confusion. Okay, we got a group over here saying the Spirit revealed to them that this is the way you say the name. So we got all these divisions based on what people are saying the Spirit told them, okay? So we got to be very careful with when we say the Spirit told me something, right? Okay, let's continue.
I need you to read right here when it says, when dissected in the Hebrew.
Page 128.
Page 128 of the Illuminati too.
It says, when dissected in the Hebrew, the true definition of Jehovah or Yahovah is revealed. Yah, H3050, means God. Hova, number H1942, translates to eagerly coveting, falling, desire, ruin, calamity, iniquity, mischief, naughtiness, noisome, perverse, very wickedness.
Same thing we've been teaching. Read.
Jehovah is synonymous with Baal.
With who?
Baal.
With Baal. Baal is the calf. Baal is the Babylonian worships. That's what the Catholic Church is worshiping, Baal. Read.
Okay, now I don't doubt what he just said about Jehovah, because he's going to give you something. I don't know if he shared the actual Hebrew number for ruin, but let me just kind of just give you that just for, let's see if I can give it to you. I did a lesson on that. I'll probably post a clip right here and show you the lesson I did years ago on ruin being, Jehovah meaning ruin or mischief. Okay. Hova means ruin or waste. So why would we call the Father by a name which means to ruin? Why would you say Jehovah? That's what the substitutors did. They call him that name, Hova. His name is not Jehovah. His name is Yahweh. Not to be confused with the Strong's number 1961, which is Ahayah.
Hova, number H1942, translates to eagerly coveting, falling, desire, ruin, calamity, iniquity, mischief, naughtiness, noisome, perverse, very wickedness.
Same thing we've been teaching. Read.
Jehovah is synonymous with Baal.
With who?
Baal.
With.
Okay, so he says that Jehovah is synonymous with Baal. But I want to show you something here, because, see, that was a deceptive teaching, because when he used the word Jehovah, right, if you use the Strong's Concordance the correct way, which he didn't do it the correct way, because you get a number 3068 for Jehovah, which is an incorrect translation, right, or transliteration, however you want to slice it, because he tried to say that that consisted of the word Hova, Jehovah, which is incorrect, because in the Strong's Concordance, it is the number 3068 which is used there, which is Yod Hey Wah, right? And it's actually saying that the word Yod Hey Wah is from 1961, not 1942 as he quoted, but 1961, which 1961 is Ahayah, not Hova. So he gave you a misinformation. I don't know whether he intended to do it or whether it was intentionally, but this particular word Jehovah came from the Strong's Hebrew word Ahayah. Okay? Ahayah. Right? Same as when the Most High said, we're going to see it in a minute as we continue, I am. He said Ahayah. He didn't say Ahayah. There is no aleph in there. He said Ahayah, which means the breath, the life, the source of life. That's what he said. Here, he gave you a misinformation. He just told you that he said 1942, which means Hova, which is incorrect. In Jehovah, what they transliterated that to Jehovah, it didn't come from 1942. It came from 1961, which is Ahayah. Okay? Now it says here, from 1961, the self-existing eternal, It says the Jewish national name for God, which we understand the whole Jewish thing. We're not even going to go that route because we know we're not talking about Jewish people, but this is their writing, so quite naturally they're going to put that Jewish thing there, okay? But every Israelite was not called Jewish, okay? All right. Then he says also is from 3050. So it's given to you from 1961 and 3050, which is Yah. Yah. So we have Ahayah. So Ha-Yah is what they took and transliterated that to Jehovah. So back to the original Hebrew, it wasn't a ruin word there, even though Jehovah and Hova does mean ruin, but he gave you a spin when he gave you that presentation to make you think that Jehovah was from the word Hova, which means ruin, which comes from 1942. So that was an inaccurate statement and an inaccurate presentation and a misrepresentation of the whole, what he's trying to point out with the word Jehovah being a wicked substitution, and it is just that. But Jehovah comes from Hova, but in the translation, the word in the original translation was Ahayah. Okay, all right. Let's continue.
Baal.
The Jewish encyclopedia Adonai and Baal reveals the name Baal apparently as an equivalent for the YHWH.
So
okay, so now that's inaccurate. He's saying that Baali is equivalent to YHWH, which is inaccurate. YHWH was substituted by Baali, which is Lord. So I don't know if these particular brothers use Lord, but Lord, every time you say Lord, that was a substitution that the people called the Masoretes substituted the Yod-Hey-Wah-Hey for Baali or Baal, which means master. Master, Baal, Baal means master. YHWH does not mean master. In any kind of form, in any dictionary, YHWH does not mean master. No kind of form. So how could he quote from this book that says that the Jewish encyclopedia says that YHWH is equivalent to Baal, which is impossible? It is a straight out lie. All right, let's go.
It tell you even in the Jewish encyclopedia that the name of the Jewish god Baal is YH what?
WH.
Misinformation, inaccurate information, straight out lie. YHWH does not equate to Baal in any form. And if he taught this teaching correctly, he would show you, like I just showed you, for the word Jehovah, even though it's a mistranslation, it came from 1961, not 1942. Which is Ahayah, not Hova. Okay? All right. Let's continue.
That's the word you will see when people say Yahweh or Yah.
Now, I'm not in favor of Yahweh pronunciation, okay? And I have a lot of loved ones that use Yahweh, okay? And it actually was not the original way of pronouncing the name YHWH. But as people begin to progress in their learning and understanding, they'll understand why that it couldn't possibly be Yahweh. The name couldn't possibly be Yahweh. But they have their various explanations as to why they say way versus Yah, Wah, which means breath. And if you follow my teaching, you'll know why Wah means breath or the giver of life, because Adam named his wife Hawa, the giver of life or life giver. Okay? Now, so no, dodo brain with a capital D. You cannot get YHWH to mean Baal or Baal in any study. And you haven't proved that. You read something from a book that is misinformation. Okay? Next point.
It's right in your face. Read.
Since the days of Jeremiah, the Jews have forgotten their God's name and replaced it with the title Baal, or YHWH.
The translators took YHWH out, replaced it with the Lord, which is equivalent to Baal. That's what the accurate truth is. Did the Most High tell Israel to call him Baali or Lord? No, he didn't. So it's a symbolic name, a pagan substitution, the Lord, that the Israelites did to substitute the Most High's precious name, Yahweh, for Baal or Master or Lord. That's the truth. And you can get a good dictionary that will tell you that everywhere you see the four letters YHWH, they replaced it with the Lord, which is Baali. They are not one and the same. YHWH is not Baali by no form or fashion. Okay, continue.
If all the things the Most High have done for you, enlightened you and gave you your truth and shown you the light and told you that you was a child of Israel, a child of Abraham, and then you turn back through this and you give all his credit to Satan.
See, once again, that's blasphemy, because he's equating YHWH to Satan, to Ha-Satan. Ha-Satan. The Ha in Hebrew means the. Satan, the accuser, right? So Yah is not the accuser. Yah is breath. So you can't do that, because you're misleading the whole world. Everybody that's following that teaching is in error. And there are a lot of people that have fallen prey to that deception right there. Don't get caught in the trap of blaspheming the Most High's name because of a misteaching. May be sincere, I don't know, but it's an inaccurate teaching, okay, that could cause you to be on the wrong side of the Most High because you're blaspheming his name in ignorance.
Read.
YHWH and Baal both represent the god of sexual perversion and wickedness.
Hold up. It represents the god of sexual perversion and what?
And wickedness.
And wickedness.
Satan.
Satan.
However, Jews claim that this name, YHWH, is not to be spoken aloud.
But they say it's not to be spoken aloud. Why?
Despite God's command to declare his name throughout the earth.
Even though the Most High said, proclaim his name throughout the earth. The Most High didn't tell you don't say his name.
I want to stop there because this is very disappointing, and this is very discouraging. This is very, out of respect to this brother as a teacher, he didn't do the research and the homework. Because now, if you go, we understand when you research the Hebrew out, the V don't even belong there. The V was put there because the modern Yiddish Hebrew is not the ancient Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, so they substituted the W sound with the V sound, and you got the V. So if you substitute the V and put the W there, you got the YHWH, right? So he's saying that he's equating that with from reading what this person said, that this is a deity of some type of sexual perversion. I can't even believe what I'm hearing. That's just straight ignorance. I mean, that's just a simple way to put it. We're supposed to be the teachers of this truth. We're letting somebody in some book tell us some nonsense, some malarkey about the name of the holy name of the Most High at that, to equate his name written on stone, on the Moabite stone, the Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh that is written on the stone, found on the Dead Sea Scrolls, and he's equating that with a pagan deity of sexual perversion. That's sad. That is really that's blasphemy. I mean, to even think that. Okay.
9 and 16. Why ignore this commandment?
Why ignore the commandment of proclaiming the Most High's name? It's going to tell you why. Because that name is to be spoken by sorcerers and Kabbalists in witch circles.
I almost can't watch the rest of this because I'm grieved in my spirit at this blatant ignorance and deception in this lesson. And anybody spiritual can see that what he's doing is he's trying to push his understanding and demonize everybody else by making it seem accurate and correct by quoting from some doggone book that was copywritten in 2010.
Years ago, around 4 years ago, I read a book that it's the witches actually have. It's called the...
See, now he's talking about another book he read about witches. Okay. We got to do better, Israel. As teachers, we can't be using somebody else's source of information to discredit the Holy Father and his name. We just got to do better than that. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Which is God. I seen it in, I think, Tex Mars' book or something where they talk about the witch is God or something.
Now you got Tex Mars teaching him, who is a Gentile. And I want to add this too. Reference to this is through that Alex Jones circle of people who the conspiracy theories that they are in the movement, truth movement or whatever. And so you have to watch what you feed yourself with. You know, we accept what somebody's saying because it fits our doctrine. So we're going to hook, line, and sinker. We're going to grab it and embrace it and teach it as an actual fact. That's very dangerous.
It was one of the Illuminati books, and it had the witch's God in it. And a brother went to a rummage sale, or he went to a yard sale and found the book and brought it. And I looked at the book. The highest name that the witches call when they do their circle and the six-pointed star for sacrifice is Yahweh or Yahweh. That's what the witches use. That's the witch's God. If you don't believe me, type in witch's God and go through that book and see if you can get it, and you will see the God they call on in secret circles. This is the God of the Illuminati.
I don't believe that. Okay. Just because you call a name doesn't mean you serve him. Okay? So, which may say Yahweh, or, I mean, the devil says, the devil knows and trembles. Even the Messiah said that the devil knows his name, he trembles, right? So, I mean, I'm not embracing the Yahweh definition or pronunciation, but you can't use it as a strong pillar point of your doctrinal teaching because the so-called witches use the name in their prayer. Okay? Or Kabbalists.
Yes, this is the God of the Jewish powers. Now,
I'm going to show you something in another. I'm going to do a part 2 more than likely on this, and I'm going to do an exegesic of what he's going to share on the name, because Ahayah, Ashar, or Asher, or however you want to put it, some people pronounce it different. Ahayah, Asher, Ahayah, or Ahayah, Ashar, Ahayah, however you want to pronounce it. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. I'm not going to fight over that and go through that whole rigmarole. But that name, that first part, 1961. See, what he's doing is he's failing to inform you that the same word that they use to translate Jehovah is the same 1961 in the word I am.